Well, this morning we welcome a great group of folks from Christian Life Academy. Good morning, guys. Good to see you this morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, let's kind of go around the table and introduce yourselves.
Yes, I'm Lanny Williams. I'm the administrator over at the school. We're out and about here today to try to share a little bit about the school.
Awesome. Who'd you bring in with you?
I brought in Jacob Black.
Jacob, good morning.
Hi, my name is Jacob Black. I'm a 10th grade student at Christian Life Academy.
Nice.
Hello, my name is Corbin Henry. I'm in 9th grade, and I'm a student at Christian Life Academy.
Hi, I'm Abby Walter. I'm in 10th grade.
Nice to see you guys this morning. Welcome. Well, tell us about Christian Life Academy.
Basically, Christian Life Academy is a niche sort of school. We have distinctives that are unique to us. First and foremost, we're absolutely a Bible, based school. We are very overt about our faith, that sort of thing. So when someone comes, that becomes the core. One of the distinctives that's produced for us is that we have an atmosphere there that is remarkably kind. When people come in to the building new, they discover that all of the teachers are pretty much rock solid when it comes to how they treat the children, how helpful they are, that sort of thing. And beyond that, that gives us a very good foundation for an academic program. When the kids are safe, it means everything. And so beyond that, we have a strong academic program. We've been sending kids off to college and for some time. Currently, we have three programs that are really thriving for us. Maybe some of you have heard of the robotics team. This year they really rocked. They took second place at Grove City, then they went on and took 5th place at regionals. It's just something that we have a good set of parents driving the program, and we've done really well with that. Along with that, we've got a media program, so we've got cameras, we've got film capabilities, we have a drone that we can fly around and film. Just a lot of fun things. I think it's motivating. I asked the kids just downstairs in my car, I asked them, okay, what could we add to the program that we'd better? And they would like art class in the high school, which we don't have.
One step at a time, right?
Yeah. And then we have another one that I really have a lot of hope for. It's a brain training program. Programs have been around for 35, 40 years. There have been over 100,000 through it. It's radically successful. It deals with ADHD, ADD, and dyslexia in big ways, and we have been correcting some things in children. Doesn't fix everything, obviously, but it's an exceptional program. Just hasn't made it into the public schools at this point.
When parents come in and meet with you, and the discussions begin on if the school's a good fit for their son or daughter, are they surprised by some of these activities that you guys offer, or some of the classes you offer? You mentioned media and the robotics. Do they sit back and go, wow, that's incredible?
Usually, I get to talk to a lot of them during an open house, and we'll take them down. We were blessed to have built a new, pretty much state-of-the-art high school wing. It's been up now for 2.5 years, maybe.
Wow.
So I take them down there and I show them the facility. I show them what we're up to, talk about this type of thing. We have a great media guy down there teaching programming and film and just a lot of different things, some electronics. Anyway, so with the classes that we offer, it's been really, people love it. One of the things about Christian schools is very often people will say in the high schools, when the kids get older, they don't offer enough. And we used to, I say, quote, we used to bleed students in the high school sometimes because they felt like they needed more. And that's not happening since we brought these programs on board.
Well, guys, for you, let's go right down the line. What sort of things do you really enjoy about Christian Life Academy?
One of my favorite things about the school is the atmosphere. I don't got to worry about bullying. I don't have to worry about not being able to make friends. Everybody there is so friendly. They're not going to hurt you in any way, and it's just a great group of people to be around. And some of the programs, like the robotics team that I'm part of, they're amazing programs, and they actually teach you real-life skills that I know I will use further on in my career.
Did you have an interest in robotics, or was it one of those things where you thought, well, I'll just give it a shot and see what it's like?
I figured I'd give it a try because I like hands-on work, and it's just something I fell in love with, and I've been doing it ever since I tried it.
What aspect of it do you really enjoy?
I'm part of the engineering crew, so
Nice.
I get to help build the robot, and I get all that hands-on experience on how to use tools and some of the math that goes into it and cutting stuff. It's incredible.
That's awesome. How about you?
Well, I really like the school, especially because of the friends you can make there. It doesn't take you a very long time to make very close friends, and everyone there is just so friendly to you, especially whenever new people come in. they don't seem to back away and be in their own like shell and cocoon. They will open up to you pretty quickly whenever they come there. I like the school mainly because they don't give you too much homework that you can't handle it. So, and it's just really, the teachers are really nice.
I think a lot of people just perked up right there. How about you?
I agree with Jacob and Corbin because our school, it's really small, like the high school. It has like 20 kids in it, about 20 kids. So like everybody in the high school knows each other and we're all friends. And we've had a few new kids come in the past, and you couldn't even tell that they were new kids like last year or even this
So
year.
they just fit in quite
Because
easily.
it's so small and everybody knows each other and they're all nice to each other. And
What kind of classes do you enjoy taking?
I enjoy the literature classes. That's my favorite.
Who teaches those?
Mrs. Johnson.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
Outside of the extracurricular things like the robotics, what classes do you guys enjoy?
I like Bible class.
Okay. Who teaches that?
Mrs. Beaver. She does a really good job on teaching it, and it really kind of opens me up a little bit, and I start to understand things that I didn't understand before.
Nice.
My favorite classes that the school offers, it's hard to pick, so I choose to say that my two favorites are science and history.
And who teaches those classes?
Science is taught by Mrs. Phillips and history is taught by Mrs. Sorensen.
All right, I just got a text message from them. You now have an A. So congrats on that this morning. So, talk about the enrollment process. How does that work? Is there a period that people can come up and talk to you, or can they come up to you any time of the year to get information?
Almost. The truth is, they can call or they could walk in off the street, and at the very least, if we had a crazy day, we might say, well, let's get an appointment. But most of the time, if someone comes, we can walk them through the building that day. Either my secretary, Joy, or I would walk them through the building, tell them what's going on. We could set up a time for their child to come and shadow a class, the class that they would be with for a day. There are a lot of options. We've had kids shadow as much as 3 days.
Really?
To get a good feel for it, because we're a smaller school and we have we have difficult situations. And to be honest with you, these guys are very flattering about the homework. I get complaints about too much homework too. But they can come in, they can learn, they can come sit with me, and I run them through the program and what we offer and that sort of thing. And the key thing always, truthfully, the most unique thing about our school is that it's a kind, caring place. I heard from the second person I know who's affiliated with another Christian school that's a good school, and they made this distinction for us, and I didn't come up with this. They said, well, it's a good school, but the people are not kind, and they were inferring like CLA.
Really?
Yeah, because sometimes you get an environment where they're hyper academic, and maybe hyper athletic, and it's chop chop chop, and everything's more cut and dry. So. And so it's a different marker, and we just blessed out. We have a really good environment.
What are some of the concerns, or maybe there are no concerns, but what are parents saying to you when they come in and meet with you for the first time and start having that discussion?
What are the concerns?
And maybe not about the school, but about their situation.
Oh, their situation? Our programming is extremely traditional. We have not gone with Common Core, so they're getting basically standard traditional math, and we've had good success with that. They're getting the conservative approach to history. I mean, we use primary source content for, we push that in our history and our science. Find original documents, make sure you're getting the speaker, the one who wrote it, rather than 15 generations of editors piling on, because
Right.
You can't always tell. With a lot of editing, and left or right, you can't really tell. But if you get back to, let's say, Washington Road or Jefferson Road, you find out a whole different picture about those individuals, and it changes everything. In science, obviously, Christian school, we are not advocates of Darwin. We are willing to look at everything, but it's a theory, and until it's an established, proven theory, and as long as I've got scientists over here going back and forth, then it's like some of the doctrines in the church, actually, where these people say this and these people say this, and they've got seminaries built on either side, and they've never come to terms. So it's, okay, well, we're not going to nail it down. We're going to try to understand it all and learn.
Does that make it difficult for you sometimes?
Well, it's one of those things that's built into the school. We don't advocate for any denomination.
Do you get those conversations, though, from folks who want to kind of prod you a little bit, like, come on, pick...
To be honest with you, almost never.
Oh, that's great.
It's
great.
outstanding. Yes, I have. I'm just going to say this. I have one of my favorite teachers is a what I call a 5-point Calvinist, and there's certain doctrines there I've had people try to just chew me up over. She's not like that, nor is her husband, who's a pastor. There's this thing about just being hardline about everything. It just, I don't know. It just doesn't work. You need to be open-minded, not open-minded to everything that everybody wants to do, obviously, because we all get into trouble.
Right.
It's just one of those things. But to be open-minded about the doctrine and why this, I can find scriptures to support this, and I can find scriptures to support that. We hone in very distinctly on the salvation experience and the Holy Spirit as being core to our school.
It sounds like maybe that translates into the classroom as well. Maybe you guys can answer that. In class, I'm sure you have the opportunity to share your thoughts on what you're being taught. Is that nice to be able to have an open conversation?
It's great. Our teachers are always open to questions. If we have a question, we just ask, and they're willing to answer it the way they think they should answer it as a teacher at Christian Life Academy and how they think it's going to best impact our lives. And I think we get the best answer that we possibly could out of our teachers.
Very nice.
I think also for the science aspect of it, I know in the past we've had our curriculum also, like, it talks about the other theories and other things that are out there. Like, I think in 7th and 8th grade it was that they had, like, the different sections on the different creationist views, because there are, like, a bunch of different theories on that, and it, like, kind of examined, like, the actual evidence and the actual scriptures that supported that and didn't support that, and why some of them weren't true, and why the one that we believe is. And so it really supported everything that we believe in. It provided evidence for that.
Sounds like with the smaller classroom sizes, you can get more engaged in the learning and the conversation. Do you find that as well?
Yes, I find that because it's not like you have your bigger schools that there are 30 plus kids in there, and the teachers are just trying to keep all the kids together to do everything that they need to do. But at our school, since the classes are smaller, if you have a question, they're able to take a little time out of the class and kind of talk to you a little bit about it while the other kids are listening as well, so they could also be learning something new. So you do get a closer relationship with your teachers as well. So
you're watching the Morning Drill on Stream Television in Armstrong and listening to it on the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. Here with some folks from Christian Life Academy. Who can attend Christian Life Academy?
Who can attend Christian Life Academy? Basically, the enrollment, we do have a distinctive, and sometimes this is a critical point for us. The individual has to be able to sign a statement of faith that says that they're a born-again Christian and that they accept certain terms. There's a statement of faith, and we are unique to Christian schools that I'm aware of. We're a member of ACSI, which is Association of Christian Schools International. We send our teachers to Grove City for a teachers forum every year for professional development. I engage with those leaders in other schools and with the organization. And we are one of the few that still require a signature regarding the statement of faith. Typically they won't require that, but I think that it gets you into trouble. I had a wonderful family come to us last year, a doctor and her husband, excellent people, but they held a different faith, and it was, by the time we interviewed, we talked a few times, it became evident to me that when their son arrived in Bible class, there was going to be a problem, and probably because he was different, he would be embarrassed. And so we talked about that, and I said it probably wouldn't be best, and they got it, they were okay. So that distinctive, I just try to make sure at the gate people know so that they don't send their child into something that's a fiasco.
What communities do you pull from?
Do we pull from? I think there are about 40, there are over 40 churches, different denominations, who send their kids there. Sometimes it's a surprise, and sometimes it's not. We have certain churches from which we draw heavily. It's just they become
But do you reach out to Oil City, Franklin, Titusville? I mean, how far is your reach?
The range?
Yeah.
We reach out to let's see, it would be Titusville over to Rocky Grove and Oil City, Cranberry, Franklin. Before our school moved, we had AC Valley and Knox as part of those that could come, but we're just I don't know, half a mile outside of the range.
So we got to move your office, is what you're hinting at, maybe.
Oh, I thought about opening it just a little, like renting a little building and making it part of CLA. But I don't think that would go over so well. So
Yeah. Well, guys, everybody's counting down the school days. We asked you jokingly before you came on how many days were left. Kind of from the answers, it sounds like maybe you're excited about summer, but you've also had a good school season, so maybe it's okay if it doesn't end right away. Talk about the school year. How's it been for you?
It's been good for me because I was in 8th grade, so now I'm in 9th, and it's a big switch between junior high and then going into high school because you're not in like with all the little kids anymore and being with them. You're with the older kids who actually you can basically they're just more mature than the other kids, and it helps you learn what you should do and what you shouldn't do because you're looking up to them. They are your peers, and it's also nice because you get to do things you weren't allowed to do in the younger grades. So.
You're loving this, aren't you? Go ahead. I'll let you guys answer that question too.
I think the school year has been great. Last year, I was a freshman, and like Corbin said, that transition's not the easiest transition because we go from, at our school, 8th grade, where we have one teacher for almost all of our classes, and then we go into high school where we're moving classrooms every 45 minutes to an hour just to different teachers, and trying to get that down and getting our schedules. And the homework's also been it gets a little bit tougher in high school just because we are getting into that higher grade where we're expected to be able to do more. And now that I'm in 10th grade, I was able to relax a little bit more because I've gotten into the rhythm of what I'm supposed to do, when I'm supposed to do it, and I can get that time restraint down on how things are supposed to go.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's really nice when you aren't a freshman anymore because then you kind of know how everything goes and how it flows, and kind of it's a lot easier, I think, after you've been in 8 for a year. But yeah, I'm in 10th grade with Jacob, and it's really good because I think this year we had some new teachers, and the adjustment from that has been, in the beginning it was a little bit different, but since the years went on, it's gotten pretty normal now.
And let's stick with you, and we'll go back around. What are you looking forward to next year?
In this school, in CLA, I'm looking forward to maybe being involved more with the social study aspect, and I know we're going to have a different homeroom teacher next year, and I'm interested to see how that will change and how that'll be different.
Yes, I'm looking forward to actually, as they said, they're in 10th grade and I'm in 9th. I'm going to be looking forward to getting back into the rhythm of high school. So instead of just trying to figure out when I need to do everything and sometimes laying my homework off for a little too long, I'll actually...
Wait, hold on. I got a text message from your teacher. You've dropped a grade, but that's okay.
So it'll be nice because I'll actually be in the rhythm of things and I'll know basically what I need to do. And so I'll also be looking forward to the basketball season.
All right. Basketball player?
Mm-hmm.
Next year in school, I'm really looking forward to some of the class we get to take. We're taking world history, which I think is going to be an interesting class. And the science classes, our classes are going to be different next year because of the way our curriculum works. We go from biology to chemistry or American history to world history. And so I think getting to learn those new things every year. I know coming up in elementary, we really learn some of the same things every year. And high school's that thing where each year is going to be different, so it's something new and exciting you're going to get to learn.
Very nice. For next year, now's a good time to start maybe calling the school to begin those conversations?
Oh yes, I've interviewed 3 families so far for next year. One was just yesterday, and it's if anyone's interested, our tuition is probably the lowest in the area. We've been able to keep that low with tuition aid, and no, we're always open and ready for people to engage with us, and we will give as much information as we can at any time to tell them how the school runs, what it's like. We want to get them in there. In fact, when families enroll, we are really big on family engagement. We have I think it's safe to say, a really high percentage of our school families that will come in and engage.
Oh, nice.
Moms will be there for things when they can. Driving for field trips is a big deal. There's a lot of family engagement, and we want that. We want it to be as close-knit as we can possibly have it.
How can the community help support the school?
How can the community support the school? I'll tell you what. I'll just be straight with you. We actually get support from Cranberry. Some of their volleyball girls would come over for service projects and rake leaves time to time. There were different things. We've got some good supportive people up there in Cranberry.
So again, call the school and give
yeah,
more
if they
information.
want to kick in for something, yeah, we have. I mean, we are small. We are private. You know, we are a nonprofit, non-public, non-licensed school. We have an independent board. We are not affiliated with anyone. So we are kind of at the mercy of God's grace, you know, with people that would come and help out. And it happens.
Guys,
a lot.
congrats. Congrats on robotics and everything at the school. Christian Life Academy.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.